show is a member of the Sorgatron Media Podcast Network. Find out more at sorgatronmedia.com. This show is brought to you by Slice on Broadway, supporting Pittsburgh podcasting with the perfect pepperoni pizza. Production services by Sidekick Media Services. And listeners like you, supporting us at patreon.com/awesomecast. It's time to get geeky, get awesome. It is the AwesomeCast. I'm Mike Sorg at Sorgatron on Twitter here in the Sorgatron Media Studios in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Ready to get back with all of you, fresh off of a trip to Lakeland, Florida via Tampa, where there were palm trees and it was 80 degrees and I was trying to stay out of the sun. And then I came home to the Pittsburgh snowiness. We will eventually talk about Dinosaur World and our Tesla rental from the weekend, including why the car was farting at me and passersby. But that'll be next week because Katie is on assignment tonight. But we do have a wonderful crew with us. First of all, from Studio C in the Big D of Dormont, Pennsylvania, is John Chichilla.
How's it going?
Hey, good to have you back, sir.
Good to be back.
And also,
I can't even remember where I am week to week anymore.
I don't
know how you do it.
What state am I in? I'm like, hey, I have no time zones, and then the spring forward happened. I'm like, well, that didn't help. Anyways, also with us representing the iPhoneography podcast, but don't ask ChatGPT that. It's Dave Podner.
Yeah, if you, I know it goes from 2021 to ChatGPT, but I've been doing the podcast longer than that, and it says, I don't know who you are. You don't exist. It's like, I'm not John Cena. You can see me.
Wrong podcast.
I know. Well, yeah.
And also with us, she is the control muppet of Sidekick Media
Services, the Missy.
The what?
The Missy.
What were you starting
right from
to
this
say?
show. You think I almost
said the Muffy, and that was not
right.
Wow.
Words are hard. You know what I've been through the last few days.
He's been day drinking.
There was some day drinking. There was some night drinking. There was some. Listen, nothing better to close your work weekend and how it went than grabbing the biggest White Claw you could possibly find, sitting down and watching Short Circuit 2 until you pass out halfway through the movie. That's my big night out. Anyways.
Do they make 40 ounces for White Claws?
They looked like large energy drink cans of it, which means it was like 3 regular White Claw cans. So I was pretty good, but all they had was like watermelon. It was fine. It was fine. Anyways, this is the AwesomeCast. You can check out everything on AwesomeCast.com. You can hit us up at AwesomeCast at SorgatronMedia.com. Tweet us at AwesomeCast and AwesomeCast at AwesomeCast at SorgatronMedia.social if you're on the Mastodon Fediverse. Also, we have a Facebook group where we share a lot of stories and heartbreak over ChatGPT over the week. An AwesomeCast Facebook group. We also have a Discord where we are connected with Midjourney, and we do use Midjourney actually for a lot of our show artwork here for the show. And over on Reddit, there is also an AwesomeCast section over there. And, of course, please subscribe and rate us on your favorite podcast app. And we are here every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time on the AwesomeCast YouTube, Facebook, Sorgatron Media, Twitch, and, of course, thanks to our audio partners sharing the awesomeness over at postindustrial.com. Also, thank you to our friends at patreon.com/awesomecast, supporting the show, including the executive producer level, Brian Crawford, and the Coffee Club, Matt Weller, Cynthia Klosky, and Mike Pound. And at the fan show level, Mike Fedor, Professor Buzzkill, Dave Podner, Dave Prop Podner, clipper of all things Sorg related. I'm going to remove your name here so I stop double saying your name before I realize that there's something else I need to say. All right, there we go. Now we're going to correct for next week. You guys can support the show too and have me pronounce your name however you would like. Pronounce. Yeah, pronunciations. Over at patreon.com/awesomecast. So let's get into our awesome things of the week. And Chilla, it sounds like you have something very helpful.
I was looking for different headsets because that's what I do.
Mm-hmm.
That and bags. And I stumbled upon Poly, which is Polycom, who HP bought. They bought like all the vendors, Plantronics, Poly, everybody.
Okay.
But the Voyager series has been one of my favorite devices that they made, and typically the Voyager series was a single ear, but ultra light, ultra portable, come with a charging case. The case usually doubles as a dock, all kinds of cool stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But this is, and at first glance, it's going to seem like a knockoff of AirPods. But I would say hold tight on that thought, because the Poly Voyager Free 60 UC series, while it looks like a pair of AirPods, the charging case and some of the capabilities are what caught my eye. The charging case has a touchscreen on it, and that touchscreen actually allows you to do things like turn on noise cancellation. You can actually check the charge of the case and the buds while they're in use. You can actually adjust the volume right from the case instead of on your phone or however you would normally do it. They do offer the same noise cancellation features as the AirPod Pro, where you can kind of have a pass through, or you can have it kind of seal you off into magic land, as I like to think of it. It amazes me. I'm interested in trying these out because it amazes me how well the AirPods just cancel out everything around you. Mm-hmm. Where I also think these differentiate, the claim is it will actually connect up to 2 Bluetooth devices simultaneously without any kind of resync, and the device will actually pair and store 8 different devices for connectivity. And you can actually, from what I've read, you can actually switch what device you're connected to right from the case as well. Super excited to try these out when they come out. They're supposed to come out this month. They are not cheap by any means. I think the starting price is $300, and if you get the touch style charging case, it's an extra $50. So you're starting at, it's $350 for this thing. The other interesting thing that I saw was the case actually acts also as a transceiver. Mm-hmm. And they actually have a USB-C to headphone jack connector. So if you have a device that doesn't have Bluetooth but has a headphone jack, you actually plug the case into the headphone jack.
Oh,
via a specialized USB-C connector.
Kind of like a mouse that has something like that, right? Like where, yeah.
Or I mean, I'm thinking like if you're on an old school airplane with the headphone jacks to watch movies.
That's always baffled me, because I'm like, all I have is Bluetooth, but they have a headphone jack for me to watch this movie. This doesn't seem to work. Or you have the lightning headphones, right? Because you have an iPhone, right? Like you just like, what the hell am I supposed to do with this? I think if you ask for headphones, I'll give them to you or something. But
they do give you headphones.
Yes.
Then you're putting headphones on that someone else wore.
No, actually,
no. My flight, they actually had little packages of like disposable ones, so they gave it to you and you got to keep them.
Oh, no charge, huh?
Nope.
Well,
Nice.
that was also when
I was flying. I was flying Delta Comfort Plus, so that was the business upgrade.
There you go.
There you go. All right, I love it.
They also do come with a Bluetooth dongle. So if you want the latest, if your device doesn't have the latest and greatest in Bluetooth technology, their dongle I think is Bluetooth 6. I think. But yeah, so you can use their dongle, and it comes with both a USB-C and USB-A version. So super cool device. I'm super excited to try these out when they come out. I've been told They will come out this month, from what I've been reading. I didn't realize they were actually announced back in January. So
interesting. I'd love to show you more of them, but the it does not seem to be. It doesn't. The site doesn't seem to load right on my iPad.
Oh, so, that's no fun.
Yeah, and I checked Dave's link and it loads just fine. So I don't know what the deal is there. So, Dave, what's your awesome thing of the week?
Sure, my awesome thing was actually something. Well, first of all, since we are recording on Pi Day,
yay! What is that? What is it? What are we looking at there?
That is this is not my awesome thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's a peanut butter pie.
This is actually a chocolate eclair pie. I actually went down Giant Eagle because I know in previous Pi Days, in the before times, they had, you can get like an 8-inch pie for $3.14. That was the before times.
Yes.
Now today, which obviously for most people you're not going to see us in time, these little prepackaged pies from whatever company it is. I know it doesn't even think it's like it's a company. I think it's one of these. Yeah, there's not even a company name on it. 3 of them are $3.14. If you want a cherry pie, it's $18.
Oh wow!
At Giant Eagle.
Wow.
I don't want a cherry pie that much. But my awesome thing is actually something I found in Aldi's. Which, by the way, if you don't go to Aldi's for like grocery shopping, they have a little gadget owl, which can have some really neat stuff in it. And I picked up. I'm going to do the others to see if I can.
Put your hand in front of it. There it is. I don't know if the resolution's doing great for you, but yeah. So
it's a 6-in-1 auto emergency power tool.
Okay.
So some of the extra things here are kind of useless, to be honest. Well, like it has a belt cutter in it. So if you get in an accident, your belt gets stuck, you can pull this off, and there's a little blade here to cut your belt. But the bigger thing is this plugs into your, and I'm going to use an old term here, cigarette lighter. And it has USB A and B ports on it. I mean, not A, but A and C on it.
Those are C? That's not micro? Nice.
That looks like
no,
micro.
that's a micro. I'm sorry. That is a micro, unfortunately.
Okay,
yeah,
but
you're
still,
right. You're right.
handy.
I was wrong. Yeah.
But still, it's handy.
Yeah. So, but I mean, pretty much everything, like if you have like an iPhone, you can get an A to a Lightning or an A to a C still. So not only is this good for, hey, my car only has one USA, USB plug on it, or if you have an older car, you don't have any. This has it. This also, you can use this as a power bank.
Nice.
Because there's a little battery in here, and hold on, let me turn it. There we go. And it's a flashlight.
That's bright.
It is very bright. Yeah. So that's one brightness. That's even brighter, and then you get strobe light.
Party at Partners.
That's right. Strobe light party at Partners.
So, I mean, honestly, it's small. It does have this little cover thing on here, so the part that goes into the cigarette lighter actually has a little. And I don't know anyone in real life who actually ever had this problem, but it actually has a glass poker here. So if you get stuck, you need to shatter the window if you get stuck in it, which I don't think that's such a big deal.
This is used for like people traveling to Ocean City that drive off the bridge. Like I need to be able to cut my belt and bust my glass.
Yeah, like I said, the emergency part I don't think is overly useful, but to say that you have a flashlight in your car, I know it's starting to get lighter, but not in the morning because of wonderful daylight savings time. So you do have an emergency flashlight in your car and an emergency power bank for your cell phone if you need it too. And it's small enough that it doesn't really take up a lot of space. So, and it was $10.
Nice.
So it was a good price. I mean, yes, it is plasticky, but you know what? If something happens to your car, you need a flashlight to look underneath the hood and just look underneath the hood because you can't figure. Most people can't figure out what's wrong with it. But you can just stand there with the flashlight and go, "Yep, car's not running."
Like a true mechanic, right?
Exactly.
No,
Yep.
no,
Go.
no, no, no.
No, I mean, you can assess that. I mean, sort of, you've been with me when we've had car problems, and I can
Yeah.
be like, oh, this hose is disconnected, or oh, we're gonna need a new radiator.
Yes, yes, yes.
It's a nice little, like I said, for $10, it's a nice little tool just to have on hand.
Or for most of us, you can see the objects under the hood while you're watching the YouTube video about what's going on.
Yeah.
Yes.
Exactly.
Awesome.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I'm usually
Under the hood, and Sorg is pulling up the YouTube video to find out what I'm doing because my dad's a mechanic. He taught me a lot of basic things. So I'll be fixing or looking into whatever I need to address while he's pulling up the YouTube video to figure out what I'm doing.
So again, that is the Audi.
Auto XS 6-in-1 emergency power tool. That is, I want maybe something else called Audi. Like you have it here on the AldiReviewer.com.
Oh, that's so funny.
I was trying to find it on the Aldi site, and it never came up. But this is the closest thing because this may be a different version, but it's the exact same thing pretty much.
Yeah.
Well, and this is also probably one of those things that they
Cycle through periodically, so putting it on their site doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
No, it doesn't. It's not like Amazon. So excellent.
Missy, what is your awesome thing of the week?
A ninja plant.
A ninja plant?
Yes, a ninja plant.
Tell me more.
So somebody actually took, I think it's a ficus, and they connected electrical stuff to it, kind of like a TENS unit looking thing, to register the electronic pulse that the plant gives. So you've heard about, if you nurture a plant that it grows better, if you have like a nice soothing environment for it and that sort of stuff. Whereas if you don't have as much of a soothing environment for it, it stifles its growth and different things like that. Well, this takes it to a completely different level, and it's an art installation, I believe, actually. So the concept is the guy used the plant as the brain. So he's got it encased in this nice little glass globe with all of the attachments to it. And he has built a robotic arm out and put a machete in that arm. So the concept is that if the plant feels threatened, it can defend itself.
Hold on, I gotta pull this picture up.
Yeah, there's a video.
Okay.
That's the thing. Do you have the link from the document?
It's on its way.
Okay. So I was looking at it, and this started with a post on Facebook that was just the picture.
What the
And
hell?
I found an actual article that has a video with it, which was even better. And this is it. So it's a plant,
Got a machete.
and it has a machete. They
My
built an
modern
arm for
meds.
it with a machete.
What is?
So you can see in the picture right there, Sorg, you can see that it has like I said, it's kind of like a TENS unit with the sensors and stuff.
Yeah.
So they have that attached to the leaves, and like I said, I'm pretty sure it's a ficus, but maybe not. I'm not so sure with my plants, but yeah. So it just does its thing. It waves the machete around.
Watch plant machete in action here. Oh no. So many ads in this picture. Oh, it's moving.
It does.
It's moving. So we just gave, and we put the TENS unit on it. It looks like there's eyes on the plant.
Yeah, that's actually
Yeah.
Yep, the sensors.
That's so this is like Attack of the Rotten Attack of the Tomatoes situation.
Little Shop of Horrors.
Little Shop of Horrors. Jeez. You know what we need to do? Give plants limbs and knives.
It's not just
Just a knife sword. It's a machete.
It's a freaking
It is a
machete.
machete.
A freaking
And I was
machete.
wondering, I initially thought maybe this is like a toy-sized thing, and then I pulled it up, I was like, no, this is actually that's a legitimate-sized machete, it looks like.
Yeah, that's like a person-sized arm.
Yeah.
Looks like.
Very much so. So I was looking at going, I was, okay.
Very much BBC or I'll cut you.
yes.
And show titles.
Let me write that down real quick. All right.
Well, we know one clip that won't go on TikTok.
Yes, don't. and actually I shouldn't show title that either. That'll also get us flagged. Never mind. Cut that.
Are you using the word
Cut that as a
Yeah, yeah.
on purpose?
Is that a pun?
Or I'll cut you will probably be a problem on most platforms. All right, let's get a little less violent here. I actually discovered this late in the season last year of my travel season, and I knew I wanted it, especially since we hear so much about like what's going on with the airlines and things like that. So I discovered an app a bit ago, and I didn't want to drop the $50 a year on it until I was leading into the season. And as we were coming back, we had a flight delay, and I was like, okay, you know what? Hey, wait, there's that thing. I want to know what's going on. And this is an app called, it might have been brought up on the show in the past. It's called Flighty. I know I did a trial before. It's for the iPhone, and it's a really good app that brings together, and I'm sure a lot of this is publicly accessible data. I know there's a website that'll pull up this kind of like a flight tracker and stuff like that. But this is nice because it brings it into the iPhone environment, and including having those live tiles on your your widgets on your home screen and things like that, right? Or your notifications, then you have the flight status no matter what if you're looking at your phone, and often you get updates about your flight delays and flight updates before the Southwest app sends you an update, or Google sometimes, because Google will also keep an eye out for that if you use Gmail and have the flight numbers in there. So this thing is to the point where it was telling us, okay, this is when you think it's going to be. This is when the delay is going to be. This is where your plane is at right now, and this is where it's been. So it was like, okay, is this like consistently late because they've been late to like 3 stops ago, or is it just coming down here? And for us, we saw that our plane had been a couple of paces. We're coming down to Tampa from Pittsburgh and was en route. It was just, it took off on time, but obviously there was some weather going on here. I know when we came back, and it looks like it probably just ran into some delays on the way down with weather, or had to go around a pocket or something like that.
It hit some headwinds.
It hit some headwinds, perhaps. And it's really good about updating that kind of stuff, even like to the point where you get a breakdown of boarding is now set at this time, and taxiing will take this long on average, and what's the history of your flight's timeliness. Like a lot of really good details kind of go into that. If nothing else, it gives you something to, instead of just sitting there looking at a board, looking at an app that doesn't update, just feeling like you're completely helpless while you're waiting for your plane to decide to show up. This gives a little bit of weight to that and helps that anxiety a little bit, or at least helps you have. I know for us, Katie and I were sitting there and was like, okay, is this a Southwest thing, or is it just a little bit of a delay? If this is they're going to cut the flight because something, and we knew there was weather coming on back up here in Pittsburgh. If there's something up, like, okay, what do we have tomorrow if we have to stay here at night? Like what do we need to handle, and keep that in mind. So, and preemptively, just in case, obviously. But this is a pretty good app. It is, if you are a regular traveler, I recommend it for the $49.99 a year through the App Store. You can get I think it was a 15 or a 30-day trial. So if you have a batch of trips coming up, you want to give it a shot, or that time where you see that your flight is delayed, that's when you start. That's probably when the most people start when they get onto something like this. But it's already, like, from the trial that I had before, towards the end of the season to this, I think it's very helpful for things like that, and help you kind of plan accordingly and at least anticipate issues that may come up. So, Flighty in the iPhone App Store. Yes.
Is there any social component or anything to it? Like, can you say, hey, my flight took off 10 minutes late, like if it didn't update, or like to get the word out to the next to others?
There is like share options, including it was having a share to Instagram option that was popping up when I was poking at it. So you can download it, like it'll do it'll show you everything without Pro, but it'll just have some of the stuff kind of faded out and everything. So, but yeah, so you can get an idea what that kind of looks like. So I definitely recommend taking a look at it if you do a little bit of flight travel. So
very cool,
awesome. It's flightyapp.com if you want to investigate further. Hey, out of curiosity, Actually, I'll do the break real quick, and then we'll do this. I want to give a shout-out to our friends at Slice on Broadway, New York City style. Yins are made in 5 locations in the Pittsburgh area: Beachview, Carnegie, East End, North Hills on the South Side. Works. Thank you so much for the guys supporting Pittsburgh podcasting with the perfect pepperoni pizza for well over a decade. Thanks so much to the guys. SliceOnBroadway.com. Hey Dave, I was curious, so I went to ChatGPT. It didn't even give anything about being a podcaster. I don't exist, okay? And I said Michael Sorg in Pittsburgh. Now, I thought this was a good opportunity because I do have something, and I have not dived into this. I did get cleared for the Bing AI trial, okay? So I got my Bing app right here. Let me pull out my Bing. And I said this, who is Michael Sorg of Pittsburgh? And we do have Michael Sorg's Director of Video and Media Psychic Secret, based in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Read more Michael Sorg's and his zoominfo.com. And then you got these questions that you can ask. What are his responsibilities? How long has he been there? Let's see what happens
here. What is
here.
Psychic Media Services?
Yeah, so I can start asking questions. Wait, we can join the wait list. Oh, no, I thought I was in on this. Try it. I already cleared on this thing. Hold on. I gotta accept all my things.
What web browser were you on?
I'm in the app. on
Oh, you're in the Bing app. Okay.
Yeah, I just downloaded it. So let me try this again. What is?
Okay.
No. Join the wait list. Oh okay. No.
Did you log into Bing?
I logged in. I'm pretty sure I logged in.
Okay. Because you can download and use Bing without logging in.
This is true. Now I know I was using this. Hold on. Let me switch this up while we're at it. All right, we're going to get our Bing out again, and we're going to say, who is Michael Sorg of Pittsburgh?
I ask that question frequently.
Who?
Wrong show, Sorg.
Oh,
wrong show.
Wrong show. Oh, wait. Here we go. Wait. I think I'm in the right thing now. Oh, no, here we go. So let me pull back.
Wow.
Not the search. I have to actually go into the chat. I actually went over here and asked it to tell me a joke. So that is coming up. So let's go ahead and ask it. Oh, wait. We can do it by microphone, too. No, I'm not going to talk to you. Okay. Who is Michael Sorg of Pittsburgh? I figure that's going to help, right?
Should.
Of Pittsburgh.
How do you spell Pittsburgh?
I don't know. You try typing live on air. Oh, jeez. What did I do? Oh, no.
Oh.
You pasted something from the podcast.
Yeah, I did. And it keeps popping this up over here. I'm not used to... I don't type on an iPad so much anymore. All right. So now it's processing the response. Let's see if the Bing knows me. Searching for Michael Sorg of Pittsburgh. And content producer, podcast guru based on Pittsburgh. He is the owner, operator of Sorgatron media service company that helps stories. He's also a video media director at Psychic Media Services. And look, everything's cited too. So you see there's a site from about.me. There's a site from LinkedIn.com. A site from Facebook.com. He hosts several podcasts such as Wrestling Mayhem Show, AwesomeCast, and more.
I'd like to see what that and more one is like.
You want to do the and more? Well, oh no. Oh no. So that just links through and goes to the site.
Okay.
Here, and there's asking the question like, how can I listen to his podcast? What are some of his web series? What is Sorgatron? I'm curious. What are some of his web series?
Does it give you links to like?
It gives me links where it found the information. So I think I clicked. It looked like it was loading up maybe the Facebook or the LinkedIn.
It's pulling up. It's creating like its own little Wikipedia.
Here we go. Some of those web series are Fishing Without Bait, a podcast about web series about focus on mindfulness, mental health, and creativity. The Baristas, a comedy web series that follows the lives of coffee shop employees, which is true. I did assist with that. Unsung, the nonprofit news show, web series that showcases the stories of nonprofit organizations of Pittsburgh. All true, actually. Learn more, twitter.com/stage32. But this is all information that I filled out about myself across these sites. So this is so the Bing is actually spidering all of these and pulling that information into something digestible, right? So
well, I apparently have the Bing search chat availability too. So I search for myself, And it said there are a few people named David Podner associated with Pittsburgh. I severely doubt that. I think right now I'm the only one who is in Pittsburgh. The other David Podner affiliate with Pittsburgh is in California right now, and my dad. Yeah, one of them is a customer service specialist who works at SAE.
Hey,
true. They got that link from Lincoln. Yeah, and their one is a resident of Verona. Also true. A third one's a possible relative of Peter Podner, who passed away in 2005. Possibility. Cousin, fifth uncle, or whatever. Yeah. And it says, yeah, are you looking for specific information? Yes, I want to know his email address. I know I just want to see it is. Okay, let's see if it, and I'm not going to say it here, but let's hear. Yes, I want to know his email address. Let's see here. Let's see how scary it's going to get. Because I do have like 5 different email addresses. Come on.
Yeah, this is about as scary.
Scary as when I deep dive people and like give them information that they didn't realize was on the internet.
But now it's easier for them to
And
find that.
now this is becoming a lot easier.
Where like your vanity search
becomes a little more interesting, or searching for like, hey, what is there such, what's so and so up to?
Well, here's
My question with it: how does that work with somebody that's in a higher profile who doesn't want that information out there?
Well, we've got
the information's out there, it's going to find it. That's the point.
Yeah,
right?
but that's what I'm saying.
Hey, like,
Someone else put it out.
But if you're somebody who doesn't want that information out there, now this is a method for you to find it.
Yeah.
Tell me everything on the internet about me, because I don't want it out there, right? And you can whittle down, and hopefully that helps you more than like a Google search, right? Because it's more kind of plain language and it cites things. I like how it cites things versus ChatGPT doesn't, because there was that whole like, oh, this may be, because they were talking about like helping ChatGPT help you with proposals and things like that, or scripts or something. But you also need to run it through like a plagiarism checker, and I guess those are a thing that's out there, right? Or search parts of it to see if it's lifted from something else that's important that would get you in trouble. So it's very interesting. So I really like this. Again, no, I pulled you up too because I said search for David Podner of Pittsburgh. And I got those same responses. It is very interesting because it is like whitepages.com, legacy.com, pit.edu for the one that was an advisor, linkedin.com. So, I mean, this is stuff, for the most part, this is likely stuff, like you wrote your own answer like ages ago for a lot of us, right?
Right.
So,
yeah, it may be somewhere else or who knows, yeah.
Absolutely.
Does it
scroll through my MySpace?
maybe.
Or
Maybe.
my work?
What were we doing in 1996 is the question, I think.
Yeah, that's the question. Which also now begs the question of unbreaking.
on my AOL Instant Messenger?
Excuse me, Missy, why don't you hit up one of your stories here?
One of my stories. You want me to pick?
Yes, while I deal with this cough situation.
Okay, whatever.
Apologies video. Apparently I turned on an audio source that went crazy.
Oh, lovely. Well, I'm going to go ahead and pull up the camera for the visually impaired. So Sony has a camera for the visually impaired, and it's for aspiring photographers with low vision. And it was kind of cool as I was reading down through this, actually. It's about $600, and it's a retinal projection camera kit. So if it's hard for you to see, and like they're talking about that the guy that they talked to in the article is actually legally blind, like he can't drive a vehicle because his vision is that horrible. Yeah, it says he gives what he suffers from for the condition, and day-to-day life he sees the world in a bit of fuzziness, and it's something like an impressionist painting or a smudged writing on a chalkboard. So this is how he sees life day to day, but this camera will essentially it makes it more of a 20/20 eyesight type of vision for him, and it's kind of cool because it actually takes the image and it does something with his eye directly so that he can see it in a manner that he can actually his brain can interpret. So it's really kind of interesting the way they were talking about it. And again, it doesn't require corrective lenses or anything. It's just the camera that he's using. He's viewing through the lens of the camera, and it allows it to do that. So it's talking about that, it takes this and puts it into ready to share JPEGs and stuff, so that it's just like anybody who could actually see regularly taking a picture with a camera, and it makes it work well for him. So yeah, I just thought that was kind of interesting that you're taking something that normally wouldn't be available to people with horrible eyesight or no eyesight in some capacities, and giving them the opportunity to become artists, because they can, and to experience the world in a different way. So it's kind of cool, because again, the guy that they were talking to in the article here, he had good vision well, not stellar vision, but good vision. He could see things earlier, and then it's a degenerative condition that he has, so it's progressively gotten worse throughout his life, and he's not that old, from the video that they have with everything. So yeah, I thought that was kind of an interesting aspect of things.
Is it something you can put like cameras into? Because it looks like the way that it looks like from
and that's
the picture, like the Sony camera, like slides in, and like it's almost like a pass through for the shutter button.
Yeah, it is. So this is
that's super cool.
It's a kit that attaches to another. They say it's the HX99. I think Sony HX99 is the camera that is shown in the stuff that it's with. So it does attach to cameras, and I think that you have to have like certain settings or certain sizes for the type of camera that it'll work with. And they're collaborating with American and Japanese schools for the blind to get cameras in the hands of those who will benefit from its bleeding edge display tech. And they're working on expanding it out for other options as well, from what they were talking about in the article. So the entire thing is like, this is where they're starting for things, and they're only planning to kind of open it up and make it better and more available to everybody else.
And it looks like the price, like I said, when you're buying the kit for $600, it comes with the camera. So even though it's $600, that includes it seems like a pretty decent camera. It's a 30x optical zoom. It does shoot in RAW, so you can do that and do whatever editing you want to do on top of that. So it isn't like they put it with a $50 cheap little $50 camera. It looks like a pretty good camera. And the fact that it's taking a laser and putting the image directly on your retina.
Yeah, that's the line that I was looking for, and I just found it. And that was the part.
That's mind-blowing.
It really is. And that was the part of it that I was like, wow, this is insane. It literally cuts out the middleman, because it's taking that image and essentially doing what your eye is supposed to do. So it makes it available for you to see it. But then it also allows you to capture that image and actually print it like you would a photo. So like I said, it's really cool that somebody who is legally blind can become a world famous photographer if they want to, and they won't be held back because of their vision impairment.
That's awesome. Yeah,
and I think it's going to open up a bunch of opportunities elsewhere too, because if they can apply this sort of technology with photography, would they be able to apply this sort of technology to videography?
Based on what they're saying, if you go to Sony's page, it can be used with, because the camera does do video.
Yep.
So you can, if you want to use the camera for video, go ahead, do it, because it'll do the exact same thing, which is a really nice feature. Like you said, if someone's, it unlimits the visual or expands it out, so people who have vision issues have no problems at all to look at it.
And the other nice thing is it makes it accessible for all, because you don't have to worry about holding heavy gear or manipulating tiny knobs and buttons. So it's pretty much just this attachable aspect of it, which is really no different than a lens or a filter that you would apply to your camera otherwise.
Mm-hmm.
So it doesn't create a whole lot of weight. It doesn't create a whole lot of, extra use in order to do it. You just kind of slide your camera in, make sure it's lined up appropriately, which it looks like it just slides in and kind of clicks where it needs to be, and you're good to go.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Tell me about, what's the story about vinyl records?
So, that whole trends kind of cycle, vinyl records outsell CDs for the first time in decades. So over the last few years, there's been a trend for people to listen to vinyl because it is the cleanest version of audio that you can get. Mm-hmm. And people have been actually utilizing that. I'm trying to pull up the article now. So, because there are numbers. Mm-hmm. And this is just over 41 million vinyl records were sold in 2022, whereas only 33 million CDs were sold. And the vinyl records accounted for $1.2 billion in comparison to $483 million for the CD equivalent for sales in 2022.
I do feel like I see more vinyl records than stores than anything, and I mean we've all seen the music sections. Pretty much non-existent now in your Targets, Walmarts, and Best Buys, right?
Target has a vinyl section now.
Yeah, but now there's a vinyl
They
section.
do.
Yeah,
They
they're
do.
throwing out the
Vinyl
vinyl
section.
section.
Yes. Like I said, it's so crazy because I remember being a kid, going to the record store, and you would have your records over here, you'd have your 8-tracks over here, and then when cassettes were coming out, you'd have your cassettes over here. And it's so interesting to walk in and see that technology coming back. I mean, there are advances with it, because
You can get a record label, a Five Below, that'll plug into your USB port, for instance.
Yeah, well, that sort of stuff. Plus, you have the digital programming with it, so that you can kind of cue things up and mess with, the sound quality going out, or how it connects to the external speakers or whatever. Mm-hmm. So I think it's kind of interesting, but also kind of. I looked at the title of the article, did a double take, looked at it again, and I was like, this is too funny.
That's great.
But honestly, like I said, Target, the Guardians of the Galaxy has the music for Volume 2. Mm-hmm. And it's perfect because you have more room for the art.
Yes.
So, and I wonder if the fact that a lot of cars these days don't have a CD player in them anymore. Mm-hmm. So, it's like, well, I would love to buy this on CD, but...
And do what?
Exactly. It's like, and do what with it?
Yeah.
I can't play it anywhere.
Not even your computer, yeah.
Yeah, computers don't have CDs anymore. Even desktop barely have CDs. Mm-hmm. Let alone laptops are all in ones.
I mean, I don't know what you guys are talking about. I just put my CD into my, Xbox.
The new Xbox doesn't have a player anymore.
I know.
We don't even have that on there. I love there's one client that they give me all the videos from the video screen to put in the edit, and they hand me a DVD, a burnt DVD every month or every time we do this, and I'm just like, all right, gotta pull the DVD player out and plug it into the Mac, so I can get all my videos. So I'm like, all right. I guess it beats up waiting for them to upload it, but no, it's wild. Wow. Dave, I think you had something in here along for this this faked Zoom photo of the moon.
Yeah, and I want to preface.
You are our photography expert, so our phone photography expert.
Okay, thank you.
Amongst us.
It is not faked.
Okay.
This is not what happened to Huawei a few years ago.
Okay.
If you remember that story.
Okay.
Where people were taking pictures of ping pong balls, and all all of a sudden the moon showed up. What? Because the Huawei, it was like 4 years ago or so. That was at the time they literally just looked for any white round ball, and it was blurry. They assumed it was the moon. They just projected the moon on top of it. Samsung says something different. So what they'll do is you take a picture of the moon, and it'll use data from other moon photos to fix your photo to make it crisp and cleaner. So it's still using your image, okay? But you see how it then it uses the AI, and all of a sudden, because a cell phone should not be able to take. That's still amazing from a cell phone.
Yeah.
But when it cleans it up, you're like, how is it getting that image from the optical zoom's 10x?
Do you know what this
The
reminds me of?
digital's 100.
This reminds me of watching all of like the police TV things where they're like, zoom in on that license plate, enhance that license plate, and they take the picture of license plate, they blow it up, which it makes it all pixely and stuff, and then all of a sudden it starts to just twinkle, and all of a sudden the license plate is completely legible. Like, no, that doesn't work that way. Sorry, guys.
But yeah, so I mean, now, like I said, the reason why I want to say it's not fake, it still uses your photo as the base. And the one advantage of the moon is tightly locked to the Earth, so we only see one side of it. So you can say, I can say, this is the moon. Okay, obviously the AI is smart enough to know this is moon, and it says, okay, crater here, crater here. So we know what the moon should look like. So we're going to fix your picture to make it look as crisp and clear as possible. So now they also have, as far as I know, they have generic features like, oh, that's grass, so we're going to boost the green. Or that's sky, so we're going to boost the blue. Or that's food, so we're going to boost certain things, deal with certain other things to make it more appetizing. So that's the scene setup. So I don't like the term fake because it's not fake. It's not replacing your photo with another photo. But it's literally saying, oh, I know how your photo should be. Let me fix you and make it crisper and clearer than the optics allow. Now I'll say, even without the scene fixing, the iPhone cannot take a picture of the moon.
No.
I mean,
at all.
The iPhone can take a picture of a very bright orb in the sky that looks kind of like maybe it might be a street light if you're looking like you don't know, but yeah. Yeah, the closest I've gotten is with a third-party camera called Reflex, where I can zoom in, I can take the contrast and the brightness, and get kind of a blurry picture, but you can tell it's the moon. You can see craters, but they're kind of like shades of craters, are not the crisp, clean ones that Samsung has. Yeah.
And the way this guy tested it, he downloaded a picture off the internet of the moon, blurred it out, put it on his monitor, took a Samsung camera, took a photo of the monitor, and all of a sudden, crisp and clear. And he was like, there's literally no data to pull off. He did a Gaussian blur. So supposedly it isn't a matter of, it recovered the crispness. No, it didn't. There's no crispness to recover. And a YouTuber who I follow, Shane Moston, he repeated the experiment. And he had the exact same thing. So as he said, the shot looks amazing. Is it a real shot, or is it so AI enhanced? At what point do we not call this? What point do you not say this is a shot I took? This is a shot of the moon that has been so altered by. It's not really the moon that you saw.
Loosely based on it's a remake of your picture, in
A
Hollywood
reimagining.
terms, a
Yeah.
reimagining
Yeah.
of your picture.
And at what point do we get to the saying for let's say world landmarks? You know, someone pays someone to Eiffel Tower. I don't want to say White House because of security reasons, but Big Ben. You know, the Bean in Chicago. You know, the St. Louis Arch, places, the Taj Mahal, and they'll take photos from all the way around. So you get basically a 3D model. You take your picture, and then it'll say, "Oh, you're taking a picture of the Taj Mahal. You're here. I know what it should look like because it was taken with a very high image picture, much better than that. So we're going to fix the picture you took and make it look crisp and clear, and fix this because we know what it should look like." And at what point is that no longer the image you took? And how much of the AI is being used and how much is you?
Interesting. This is going to turn into further debate, I know. So now we know. Keep an eye out for that. So
yeah.
But it is pumpkin time, and I'm still asking Bing questions. So it knows a lot about Katie, by the way. So, but there's
everyone knows a lot. Everyone knows about Katie.
Yes, and it's all in the Bing. Katie gets binged hard. Nope.
And clip. And show title.
And clip, including the expression he is giving right now. Please, Podner.
Nope. That came out the wrong way. Okay. It sounded better in my head.
Yeah, I'm
on
sure
that
it
note,
did.
Dave Bodner, thank you so much for joining us. And
Thanks for having me on.
In helping us dispel the fake moon.
Welcome. Yes, the fake moon, but the real Podner.
That's right. There you go.
Crawford everywhere except for TikTok. As long as it's still up in the US, I'll be there. As Crawford PGH.
Absolutely. John Chichilla at Chilla on the Twitters.
John Chichilla on the Facebooks.
There you go. Watch out for fake moons and wooden nickels out there. Okay.
No wooden nickels.
And then Missy is, she's here at Sorgatron Media most days.
Most days.
That's where you can find her.
I like that, yeah.
She does not have an explicit voice on the internet, but it's heard.
I have worked very hard, very, very hard to not have that be the case.
She is the voice for the voice for the voiceless, if you will.
Oh, no, they have voices too. I just...
But you're behind. No, I'm not going to walk into another one. I'm at Sorgatron on the Twitter. You can see some of our adventures, especially over the last few days in Florida with Aero Design East was the event we were down there for with SAE and Lockheed Martin, and also what Katie and Sorg do with a Tesla for 4 days. We will, of course, and also images from Dinosaur World, and we will, of course, probably talk about those next week when she is expected to return, because I could not do this alone, because I'm sure there's stuff I'm not thinking about. But until then, you have been our awesome audience. Have an awesome week, and don't hurt yourself binging yourself. We'll see you guys next time.
This show is a member of the Sorgatron Media Podcast Network. Find out more at